How many courses have you invested in that didn't quite work out? How many apps have you purchased that never really moved the needle? Do you have a garage full of binders, cassette tapes, VHS tapes, CDs, DVDs, and even VHS videotapes that all promised that you'd hit the jackpot, but they never quite worked out that way? Well, I've been there too. My garage is also full of all of those items and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars invested, and none of it really worked. The needle moved a little bit on some of them, but for the most part, they didn't work. And I thought, wow, could it be that all these courses out there, all these seminars I've attended, all these webcasts I've listened to, all these ebooks I've read, CDs, hours and hours of CDs I've listened to, DVDs that I've watched, right? All of it. Could it be that every one of them is just junk? That's what I thought. And then I realized something bigger is going on here. Because the truth of the matter is, what is the common denominator between all these programs? Well, it's the person staring back at you in the mirror, right? It was me. There had to be something going on with me that was making it so that anything that I tried was ultimately going to fail. Now, this is really interesting because the challenge is when it's something that's going on with us, it's really hard to see. We're really too close to it. Up close and personal, we're not going to see it. So I hired a coach. And I had a coach look, and coaches disconnected emotionally, right? They could see what I couldn't. And they pointed out to me the exact invisible pattern that was going on that was causing me to hit this glass ceiling every single time. And when we look back, it kind of made sense because I looked at every program, every course, every business, every funnel, every website that I built would get to a certain point and it would fail. Every single time. It was almost exactly the same point in time, which kind of made it easy to figure out what in the world was going on, right? Now, you and I have people that we know in our lives, right, that are very successful. They may not have a lot of education, maybe not even a lot of experience, but for some reason, they just wake up and money flows to them, right? So they don't have this kind of invisible pattern blocking the money from coming in. However, they may have it in other areas. Maybe their relationships don't work. Maybe they don't take care of their health, for instance, right? They've got blocks there that keep them from being successful. For the most of us, for entrepreneurship, we're always looking at our business. We're always looking at the financial side and saying, what is it that's going to make the biggest difference? And why has so much of what we try really never moves? It moves the needle a little bit sometimes not at all. And then you get frustrated. I got frustrated. I got to a point, I was teaching internet marketing. I started teaching marketing online back in 1995, if you can believe it, that far back, and been teaching this for a very long time. I literally got to a point where I said, I am going to make sure that everyone who takes my course is successful, that the needle moves for them, that something happens. And it didn't. Again and again, it was the same pattern. It was 10% of the people that would actually get some value and be able to do something with it. And the rest of them, crickets, nothing. I literally got to the point, get this, where I gave them an exact duplicate of the website, my own website, with my products, my sales letters that I was living off of. And I said, here, the exact same web. The only difference was the domain name was a little bit different than everything else. They could sell my products. I gave them all my ads. I gave them all the emails. I told them where to place the ads, where to send the emails. I helped them build lists, all of it. And I said, you can think about this. If somebody gave you a successful website, gave you permission to sell all the products at the same price, right? And gave you all the ads, gave you everything, how much more could you possibly do for somebody? And it was the same pattern again. And I was shocked. I was like, what? It literally only 10% of them ever did anything with it. It was crazy. But then I started to look into it deeper and I said, okay, what's really going on here? Is it really the mechanics? Is it really that 20%, the how-to that we focus on? Or is it the 80%, the psychological side that's getting in the way? Clearly, it's the psychological side. That's getting in the way. That stops us. That's a pattern that we've got going on that doesn't allow us to go any further. So we hit this glass ceiling. And when we hit that glass ceiling, game over, right? We don't even know where it came from. For a lot of us, it's something that was programmed when we were very young, in our childhood. right? Something we picked up, somebody told us something about us, somebody said something, you had some experience. There's something that's carrying through that's getting in the way. I want to help you uncover what that is. Because you deserve more. I deserve more. We all deserve to be the best we can possibly be. And we've got to get clear on what it is, the invisible patterns that we're running that are getting in the way and blocking. Because they are sabotaging us literally. Say, oh, people self-sabotage. They self-sabotage. They know it's happening, but they don't necessarily know why. I want to help you understand what is going on. I want you to get clear on what it is, and then I want to help you to make the corrections necessary to be able to move past them. It wasn't until I had my coach first identify it, scramble it up, and then put in a new pattern that was more beneficial that I really started to break through. And I've been doing this for entrepreneurs now for years. I've worked over 30 years now in the coaching business, and I've been working with thousands of entrepreneurs. And you know what? You're not broken. Everyone has something that gets in the way. I want to help you solve it. I've got a free webinar coming up, and the link is in the description of this video. And when you go there, you'll find the next available date. We do them periodically, regularly, but periodically, and you'll find the next available date. There is no charge for you to attend, and I would love to see you on the webinar. It'll be a lot of fun, and we do it via Zoom, but I got to tell you, if you don't like turning your camera on, don't worry about it. You don't have to turn it on. If you want to show up in your pajamas, you want to show up in your bikini, your bathing suit, it does not matter. You don't feel like turning on your camera, don't. If you do, absolutely turn it on. We'll have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to give you some strategies, some ideas of what are the most common things that get in the way, and some of these patterns that you might be able to identify in yourself. And then once you do, you can make the necessary corrections so that these things don't continue to sabotage your success. Go ahead, check out the link below, and hope to see you on my next live free webinar. Thank you so much for watching.